Hello everyone! This year we cannot have our Matsuri in Trafalgar Square, and this doesn't mean that the fun is over. So we're gonna have some fun with manga together here online. And as you can see, the title of this video is 3 tips to draw better manga faces. And we are gonna dig into it, learn something new, and have lots of fun. Tip number 1 is use a simplified structure. Very often when we look at these kind of manga faces, anime faces, we have lots of famous characters here. Naruto, Dragon Ball, Mononoke Hime, and the last one is a character of mine from a webtoon that you can read for free online called A Stranger I Loved. And what happens is that we don't really know where to start to reproduce something like that. Okay, so many people start drawing an eye or maybe a nose, or from wherever they like. This is not the safest system. Every face has actually a structure that we don't see, a simplified structure, but if we manage to understand what the structure is, we can learn how to reproduce very easily any manga face. So first I'm going to show you the structure that we are going to use, and then I'm going to prove to you that all these faces have the same structure. The structure we're going to use is very simple. We're going to use a circle, we're going to use a cross, and we're going to use a triangle. These 3 shapes combined will help us drawing a better manga face. So first of all, I will draw a circle here. It's not super easy to draw a good circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if it's like this is not a real good circle. So I would suggest you practice a little, fill pages with circle, and a good idea, a good practice to draw better circles is to draw it in 2 parts. One side and then the other side. So let's go back to our first circle, this one here. Then I'm going to divide it in 4 equal parts with a cross, this cross. Okay, so the first one, the vertical lines will be longer, like this. Second line, and we have our pie chart. Now here at the bottom of the circle we are going to draw a triangle, and the cross, this part of the cross, will be right in the middle. So are you wondering how long, how big does this triangle have to be? Well, it actually really depends on what kind of character you're drawing, but let's go with the basic. So this is my structure. This structure is also present in every other manga face that we have looked at before. Alright, so back to our beloved manga faces. Let's see how this structure is actually present in all the other characters. You can see how every manga face has actually a structure underneath. So let's see how from this, I'm going from this structure here, I'm going to create a manga character. Let's look at Dragon Ball. What do we notice here? First thing that we can notice is, when we divided this in 4 parts, where are the ears of the character? The ears are right here and here. Where is the nose? The nose happened to be right here, and the mouth is here. The chin, it's right at the end of the triangle. Then we draw this, and we draw that. Yeah, it's slightly larger. Okay, it's not perfect. Then the ears, we see they go from this to this, more or less. Yeah, just a little bit less. So it will be 1 and 2. and the nose is here. So I'm just gonna draw a simple triangle, okay? And then mouth, smiley mouth, and a tiny bit of chin. And what about the eyes? Well. We see that in the case of Dragon Ball, the eyebrows are way below this main line. Let's stick with Dragon Ball, okay, and try to have the same proportion. Not the same character, but same proportion. So we will have the eyebrows here, all right, and the eyes here. And I'm also gonna draw a neck, maybe less muscles, okay. Now, if I just erase the lines, this is the character I'll have, which is not bad. Now, with the same structure, let's draw also a female manga character. And now let's see how it looks when you actually delete all the structures. There you go. Yes, and she is still bold. And the second tip for today is mind the neck. First of all, when you draw faces, always draw the neck. Otherwise, what happens? They just look like floating heads, and it's scary. So unless you're drawing a horror manga, please draw the neck. So when you draw necks, please don't make them too wide like this. Please don't. But also don't make them too thin. So neck has to be just the right size, like this one. Yeah! And here we are at tip number 3. Draw expressive eyes. I should have said simply just draw facial expressions, because the problem is most of the time when you start drawing manga anime faces, you always draw the same expression, the expressionless one. Okay, so it's important to notice especially the eyes and the eyebrows to give life to your character. Okay, so let's change a little bit the shape and the position of the eyebrows and the eyes. And let's say, for example, we want to make this guy surprised. What's going to happen is that we are going to move the pupil more in the middle, and the eyebrows change shape and change position. And when I erase what I have, and we have a very surprised character. If we want to make him angry, we're gonna change again the position of the eyebrows and put them this way. You can see already how angry he is. And maybe we'll put the eyes here. Angry, but in a funny way. If we move the eyes somewhere else, we'll be angry but thinking. And if we have the eyes in the middle, it would be pretty angry. And it's time for a summary of what we learned. But before that, I just want to remind you that if you want to know more, you can follow me on my social networks. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also, if you want to read one of my stories, you will find one for free temporarily online called Stranger I Love on the platform called Webtoon. Thank you very much. Now, let's summarize everything we learned. 1. Use a simplified structure. Remember, circle, triangle, and cross. 2. Mind the neck. Don't make it too wide. Don't make it too thin. It has to be just right size. Tip number 3. Draw expressive eyes. So the other ways to do the same expressionless face. Look at other artists and try to replicate the expressions, especially paying attention to the eyebrows and the eyes. Thank you for staying with me during this tutorial. Even if we don't have the Matsuri this year, it's important that we keep practicing and that we keep on having fun drawing manga. Ciao!